has been deceived by Satan and is being led by a false spirit. This is the true meaning of it. Sunday is the first day of the week. It is not the seventh. And Sunday worship is part of the mark of the beast. The mark of Yahuwah, the Most High, on the other hand, is his seventh day Sabbath rest, which is the fourth command. Let's first prove that the Sabbath day is not done away with according to the New Testament, which is really the renewed covenant. Abarim, or Hebrews chapter 4 and verse 9. There remains therefore a Sabbath keeping for the people of Elohim, the people of the Almighty. You see, but in the King James, all these newer English translations, they take away that word Sabbath and they just put rest. Therefore, there remains a rest to the people of God. That word for rest is not rest. It is sabbatismos in Greek, which means a keeping of the Sabbath. You can even put sabbatismos into Google Translate from Greek to English. Sabbatism. Sabbatism, the strict observance of the Sabbath. So this verse actually should say, there remains therefore a Shabbat keeping for the people of the Almighty. Even in Mattyahu or Matthew chapter 24 and verse 20, the Messiah Yahusha said, and pray or palo or petition to the Father that your flight might not be in the winter or on the Sabbath. What is your flight? It's your escape. This is talking about the end times tribulation. So he's saying, in these end times, which we're in right now, pray to the Father, petition to the Father, that your escape is not in the winter or on the Sabbath day. Why? Because you're supposed to be resting on that day. So if he was prophesying here about the last days, which we're in right now, why are so much extra churchianity teachers teaching that the Sabbath is done away with? Why? Because they've been deceived. They have been deceived by the Constantine Creed. You can look up the Constantine Creed. This is what all Extian leaders had to declare this creed to become part of Constantine's Extian religion, the religion of JC, the false Roman Messiah. Right? Because we know the true Messiah, Yahusha, came in his father's name, Yahuchanan, or John 5:43. So this was the creed that they had to say, right? They have to renounce, look at this, they have to renounce all customs, rites, legalisms, unleavened breads, and sacrifices of lambs of the Abarim, or the Hebrews. All the feasts of the Abarim. The Sabbath is a feast. Look at Leviticus chapter 23. They also had to renounce what? Fasts, new months, and Sabbaths. Look at that. So you have to renounce the Sabbath of the Father to be partaking in the Extian religion. Every law, the Sabbath is a law of the Father that they had to renounce. You see, the Messiah didn't do away with the law. He said, think not that I come to destroy the Torah or the prophets. I come not to destroy, but to fulfill. Which is what? Plerou in Greek. To cause the Most High's will to be obeyed. He came to cause it to be obeyed. He didn't come to do away with it, like your pastors are teaching you. They even had to renounce the Yahudi, or the true Messiah, Yahusha HaMashiach. And they had to what? Accept the false Messiah, JC. What else did they have to do? It says, Extians must not Judaize by resting on the Sabbath, the seventh day, which is also known as Satur Day, which if you put it into Google Translate, 60 of those languages actually turn into the word Shabbat. Very, very close. Look at this. Sabtu, Sabti, Shabbaturi. Sabtu, Sabota, Sabo. You see, the Sabbath is on the seventh day of the week. Sunday worship is the first day of the week. It is man's creation. On the first day of the week, they used to worship the sun. This is why they now have instituted Sunday worship. You see, now what else do they have to do? They have to accept all customs, rites, legalisms, and feasts of the Romans. And what's another thing they have to accept? The new Sabbath. S-O-L-M-A-D-E-I. Which means day of the sun. Sunday. You see, this is why they now teach you to go to church on Sunday, the first day of the week, because it is tradition of man. It's part of this Constantine Creed that formed the religion of Christianity that you know today. All this disobedience and this defiance against the Most High, this defiance and disobedience to the Most High is part of the mark of the beast, rebellion. Rebellion is part of the mark of the beast. But what is the mark of Yahuwah? It's his Sabbath. That is the mark that he puts on the true believers, is keeping and obeying his Sabbath. That is what his Spirit leads you to do. His Spirit leads you into all truth. Psalms 119 verse 142 says, your Torah is truth. Torah means instructions or law. The Sabbath is an instruction. It is actually the fourth command, the fourth law of the Father, the fourth word. This is the 10 Dabarim, or the 10 words, or the 10 commands. The fourth one is what? Remember the Shabbat Yom. Why are people not remembering the Sabbath day, the seventh day? We got to remember the Shabbat Yom, to keep it separated. 6 days shalt thou labor and do all thy work, but the seventh day, not the first day, is the Shabbat of Yahuwah, your mighty one. You see, but people reject it, and they continue worshiping on the first day of the week, which that's not even a rest in the first place. The Sabbath is a rest from your works. It's not driving to a building, buying coffee on the way, and sitting through a 1-hour sermon and then going on the rest of your day. No, it's stopping all work on the seventh day, all your pleasures, all your desires, and resting, spending time with the Father. But people are so attached to this false religion of Ekshandi because sadly people's grandparents and parents have passed away in these false religions, so they stay attached to them. But here's the thing, Yahusha said we must leave everything. If any man come to me and hate not his father, or love less his father and mother and female and children and brothers and sisters, and his own life also, he cannot be my disciple, my Talmid, my taught one. Furthermore, so likewise, whosoever he be of you that forsakes not all that he has, he cannot be my Talmid, my taught one. Sunday worship is a tradition of man, and it is not of the Father. The seventh day Sabbath is the mark of the Father. Look at these scriptures. Moreover, also I gave them my Shabbatut, my Sabbaths, to be a distinguishing mark between me and them, that they might know that I am Yahuwah, that Kadash, or that separate them. This is his mark on us, that he's the one who separated us from the world. You can't be separated when you're following these traditions. That's not separation. That's you doing what you want to do, when Yahuwah already gave us the instruction on exactly what he wants us to do. Wherefore the children of Yasharal shall keep the Shabbat, observe the Shabbat throughout their generations for an everlasting covenant. That means it does not go away. It's everlasting. It's forever. Aulam. If you read the book of Acts, which is all an account of after Yahusha rose, right? After he died and then rose. There are 85 Shabbatut, or 85 Sabbaths recorded just in the book of Acts alone. And when I say they're recorded, I mean they were keeping the Sabbath. There are 85 recorded Sabbaths being kept in the book of Acts. That's after the Messiah died and rose again. So if the Sabbath is now done away with, why were the disciples keeping it? Why were the apostles keeping it after the Messiah rose? And we're supposed to follow after their example. 1 Corinthians 11 in verse 1. Be ye therefore followers of me, even as I also am of Messiah, Mashiach. That word in the Greek is memetius. What does it mean to be an imitator? He's saying, imitate me as I imitate the Messiah. If the apostles were keeping the Sabbath and they said to imitate them, why are we not keeping the Sabbath? Because you've been deceived. We all need to obey the Sabbath. This is non-debatable. Leave traditions of man. Leave the action falsehood, the churchianity, the clown show, the circus, and start obeying and worshiping the Father in spirit and in truth. Much love to you guys. Please take this up with the Father and fast on it if you have to. He will reveal his truth to you if you seek him as a child. Much love and much shalom to you guys. I'll see you guys in the next